August 3, 2022. I'm Todd Dunn, and today we're heading out to beat the heat again on board our 1972 Allied Princess Sequester. So we're going to be pushing off from the marina here in a couple minutes and head out and just sail where the winds take us. And I'll take you along with me. Well, here we go, sailing out of the harbor. The kids' sailing program is in full swing over there. Must be a dozen or more. And it's a nice light air day. The wind is kind of southeast, which means that it's even here, it's relatively cool, which is nice. Well, there's a nice breeze out here today. It's nice and cool. We're looking toward Mount Desert Island and Bear Island with this lighthouse. We're going to get into the wind for a second. We look over toward Great Cranberry. Well, now that we're out of Southwest Harbor, we're between Sutton Island and Great Cranberry. The wind has dropped off quite dramatically, and we're just cruising along at a little over 3 knots, just slow. And we're headed out past Little Cranberry out into the Gulf of Maine. As I said, we're trying to beat the heat. It was a scorching 76 degrees when we left the house. And there's Little Cranberry, a little day cruiser picnic boat over there, and another boat that's usually on a mooring up there. So it's a nice day. The wind has dropped off a bit in here. We're kind of in the wind shadow of the Cranberries here, but it'll pick up again, I hope, once we get out past the islands. Probably be about 30 minutes to get out there today. And there's a big boat anchored off Great Cranberry. That's very unusual. I've never in the last 27 seasons seen a big boat anchored there. Anyway, here's Islesford as we're just kind of drifting along at a little under 3 knots in light air. There's the people with their priorities right. Their boat is bigger than their summer cottage. And it appears they have 2 boats. A power boat and what looks like a custom-built sailboat. Probably looks like something Brooklyn Boatyard might have built. Well, we're kind of in the wind shadow of Little Cranberry. We've slowed down to about 3.5 knots. And there's Mount Desert Island over there. And as you can see, there's a little bit of lobster gear ahead. Not too bad, shouldn't be any problem. But it's there. There's East Bunker Ledge with a Friendship sloop headed for it. And there are a few other boats out sailing to the east of the Cranberry Islands today. Yeah, this is looking sort of east toward the Schoodic Peninsula, and we have a small sailboat heading in on a reciprocal course that I'll video as it passes. I think it's going relatively fast. It is going the other way, so we're currently going a little over 4 knots, and they're going faster than that because they're a little bigger than we are. So I expect our passing speed is going to be over 10 knots, so it won't last long. Quite a few sailboats out here. In the distance there's a big sloop out there. I don't know what boat that is. And the Friendship sloop Alice E, the little gaff rigger there. And I believe this boat that's going to pass us on the reciprocal course is the sailing vessel Rebecca that hangs on a mooring here. You can just see it underneath the sail right now. They're a little bigger than we are. Probably going at least twice as fast as we are. So I'd say they're going 8 or 9 knots. And we're going 4, so it's going to be about a 12 or 13 knot pass. Since they're on a more or less reciprocal course. And that is my idea of a comfortable day sailor. Just for scale, the mizzenmast on this boat is 100 feet tall. So that's a 140 footer. Just clipping along at a comfortable 8 to 9 knots. I wouldn't want to go so fast that the guests spill their champagne. It's a typical sight here, sailing off Mount Desert Island, Maine in August of 2022. And there's the north side of Little Cranberry. Sorry about the wind noise, just picked up a little. And some nice little summer cottages as we continue to head just south of east out into the Gulf of Maine. And a few boats on the port side and one in the distance to starboard. Today is probably going to be the last sail for 4 or 5 days because the forecast, at least through Sunday, it's Wednesday now, has areas of fog every day, and areas of fog usually means that it will just be socked in around here as we look north toward Mount Desert Island itself. So it's a beautiful day for the sail out here on the coast of Maine. There's a long period swell coming in, maybe 1.5 foot, but they're 8-9 seconds apart, so you hardly notice them. And just tiny little ripples from the wind. And the only other thing is there is some lobster gear, like this toggle pair right here that we're sailing just past. There's the toggle buoy and the buoy that's tied to it. So not a lot, but all of the buoys out here are toggled, and I had passed at least one toggle buoy that was towed under. It was down about 1.5 foot. So it's a beautiful day out here. And there is the friendship sloop Alice. If you have come here in August and book an afternoon sail Acadia on the Alice, that could be you out there having a pleasant sail. Looks like they're just now tacking to go back in. I never get tired of sailing out here around the islands off Mount Desert Island, Maine. The islands make the sailing interesting because you know, they change the wind. Each island has its own little wind field around it, which makes it an interesting place to sail. And it's kind of pretty. And on a day like today, I mean, it's shirt sleeve weather out here. And there's another friendship sloop. That is the friendship sloop Linda. Looks like they're tacking to head back in right now. And over there, closer boat is the Alice, and they've come around and are headed back in on a 3-hour tour. You can go head out with them. You never know when you might be shipwrecked though. And spend the next several years with an interesting group of people on a desert island. Well, considering that we had about 50-foot visibility yesterday, it's beautifully clear today. The Skudik Peninsula is nice and sharp, and the white ship over there is the Cat Ferry. It's headed for Yarmouth, Nova Scotia, and it will come back in the morning. It makes the run Bar Harbor to Yarmouth every day. A beautiful day out here today. Well, it's about as perfect as it gets out here today. It's a comfortable temperature, even in the sun, and just shirt sleeve weather, and clear, beautiful views, and a few other boats out for a sail to the east of the Cranberry Islands and south of Mount Desert Island, here on August 3rd, 2022. There's Mount Desert Island. And we're going to tack around in a few minutes and head back in. I've been sailing south of east so that when I tack around, I won't have to beat into the wind. I should have a nice broad reach most of the way back. And even out here, the lobster gear is thinned out. There's still some, but it's far enough apart that you can easily avoid it. And we're moving along over the gentle ocean swell. It looks like about a 2-footer every 8 to 10 seconds. We'll check the buoy and put in a caption how tall it really is here. It's about 3:15 now. Really pretty day out here. And over there, that last point, you go to the left of it, beyond Sand Beach in Acadia National Park. Alright, we're getting ready to tack now. My trusty crew is going to cast off the jib sheet, and I will sheet it in on the other side. I'm going to try and do this. It's a little hard because I don't have quite enough hands. But anyway, helm is to lee, as we'll turn her through the wind. Now what we do on this boat is let the wind blow the boat around. There we go. And cast off. And I'll just, sorry about the camera work. It's a little hard to hold the camera and hold the sheet in at the same time. Not yet. Okay, and I'm just wrapping the winch. And I'm gonna crank it in a little. There we go. And we've tacked around. This is why I don't usually show tacks. It's kind of hard to film and handle the boat at the same time. And here we are. We've tacked around and are headed back toward the Cranberries. There's Little Cranberry with its life-saving station at the southern tip. And Baker Island. And now, on the starboard bow, Mount Desert Island. Now we're beating back in toward the gap between Little Cranberry on the left and Sutton Island, straight ahead. We're not pointed up super high, so we shouldn't have any trouble getting around Little Cranberry. And I expect the wind to go more southerly, which will allow us to point a little more to the south We're going pretty much a little bit north of west right now. So we'll probably be able to point west when we clear Little Cranberry. And a last look at Mount Desert Island. A little bit ago I didn't have the camera out, but we sailed right past a large, 6 to 8 foot sunfish sitting on the surface. They are out here, but I've never seen one before. Anyway, gotta watch where we're going because we're getting into toggled lobster pots, and we just passed a power boat with an outboard that had snagged one, and they managed to get off, but it's just usually pretty easy to do with an outboard. Just tilt the motor up and unwrap it, but it's an annoyance, and I'd rather not snag one with this boat. So I'm gonna call this video over as we are just enjoying a very pleasant sail out here south of Mount Desert Island, and we have been east of the Cranberries. So thanks for coming along. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, and if you haven't, why don't you think about subscribing to my channel. Thanks for watching.